Hi, friends. I'm Saya from Shadow Online Learning. So, guys, do you want to learn English with songs? Let's talk about 11 songs that are awesome for learning about English. For me, when I listen to songs, I feel energized and excited. I feel optimistic about life. And I hope that this is the same for you, especially when you listen to music in English, because there is times in your English journey when you feel down, you feel like you're not going anywhere, you are not improving. And I hope that music, especially the songs that I'm going to share with you today, will help to boost your spirits and also help you to get comfortable speaking and using English. Why are songs good for learning English? A lot of songs use multiple verb tenses, expressions, phrasal verbs, idioms, a lot of useful daily language. And they help you to sing if you are willing to sing. So if you are willing to sing along with the chorus, sing along with the singer, you're going to be able to use English. You didn't need to make the sentence yourself. So you are just able to speak and imitate and hopefully have this positive, optimistic attitude. Before I share these 11 songs with you, I want to address a question that I'm sure a lot of you are thinking. So, teacher, English songs are so fast. How in the world can I understand each of the words? I have a couple suggestions, guys. First of all, you can look up the lyrics. Yes, lyrics are the words of the song. Look up the lyrics on Google, even print them out if you want. Listen to them, read them, try to follow along as the singer is singing, or on YouTube. There are a lot of versions of the songs that include lyrics. So the lyrics will follow as you are watching the video, and that's really helpful even if you just memorize the chorus. The chorus is the part that repeats a lot again and again. If you just memorize the chorus, you're already using English. You're speaking. You're using those muscles, and that's so valuable. The first four songs that I'm going to share with you are all the songs. That doesn't mean that if you grew up with these songs, you are old. It just means that they are not from the past 10 years. They are older than 10 years. Then the next four songs are more poppy, more current songs that came out in the last 10 years. Then the final three songs are just some miscellaneous songs that I thought would be useful to include. You can find the links to all of these. They are YouTube videos. My preferred YouTube video, you can find them in the comments so that you can watch every single one of these songs. And that's my challenge for you to choose one or all of these. Spend some time feeling happy and using English. My first recommendation is Billy Joel's songs, Uptown Girl. In this song, you are gonna learn some great expressions like get a choice, get tired of, fall in love with someone. These are just daily life expressions, but this music is kind of like 1950s style, but it was made in 1980s, so it has some really great catchy tunes, catchy chords, and I hope that it will help you with your English. The second song that I recommend is from a band that is considered the most important for helping English learners learn English. Can you guess what band that is? It's the Beatles. I could have a full video giving you recommendations for Beatles songs, but I realized that a lot of people already know the Beatles. So I chose one that I think is really important, and that is We Can Work It Out. It's short, fun. It includes a great phrasal verb. We can work it out. And you're gonna feel like you can repeat these songs again and again because it's gonna repeat some of the same words. You're gonna learn expressions like time can tell. I hope that this will help you to add to your vocabulary. My third recommendation is Leonard Cohen's song Hallelujah. In the description of this video, I actually didn't include his version. I included a Pentatonix version because I feel like this is maybe a little more modern sounding that's full of energy. It's your choice which one you think is better, but I wanted to include this song because there are a lot of great verbs and also the style of speaking is slow, but it's still filled with energy. So you are gonna want a lot of great verbs and also you are gonna to hear the present perfect a lot, like I've walked, I've seen, I've gone. You're gonna hear that, and I hope that all of these songs really will include verb tenses that are gonna feel to more comfortable to you after you listen to the songs. So, my fourth and final recommendation for somewhat older songs is from Queen, Somebody to Love. Every time that I listen to Queen, I get so much energy and I always think, why don't I listen to Queen more often? For some reason, this is the perfect style of music for me. So I tried to choose a song that wasn't too challenging, but it also had some great things that you can use for learning English. In this song, they repeat the question again and again. Can anybody find me somebody to love? Here you are gonna practice question sentence structure, and even though the words are a little though, I recommend checking out the lyrics and trying to follow along, even if you just sing the chorus. This is gonna give you a lot of energy and I hope positive feelings about English. My fifth recommendation comes from my pop song recommendations that are a little more modern. This one is Jason Mraz's song, I'm Yours. Unfortunately, Dan doesn't like this song. And so he didn't want me to include it in this list, but I feel like he speaks so clearly that it's great for pronunciation. If you can repeat the course, it's gonna help you speaking muscles. So even though some people don't like this song, I hope that you'll enjoy it and I hope that you'll be able to repeat these words as well. I do want to let you know that he includes a grammar mistake in the course, and this is pretty typical, and I want to try to explain why maybe he chose to use a mistake. In English, it's not a good idea to use a double negative. That means two negative words in the same sentence. He says, I won't hesitate no more. And here he's using the word not and no. So there is two negatives. Technically, he should say, I won't hesitate anymore. But he's a songwriter, so we say that he has poetic license. He can do what he wants if it makes him feel more comfortable and it makes the song flow better to have a mistake. Okay, whatever, but I wanted to let you know that he's including this, and maybe it's because when they listen to that song, they recognize it as a mistake. But it's a song, so we kind of are a little more flexible when it comes to songs and grammar. It needs to rhyme, it needs to feel good, and he just chose to use this. My sixth recommendation is Pharrell Williams, Happy. This song is really popular, and if you can memorize the chorus, sing, 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 try to sing it as much as possible because not only is it filled with optimism, but it also repeats a lot of the same words. So I hope that they will stick with you and that fixed sentence structure will help you to build on your own sentence structure that you already know in English. That's why songs are great for you. There is a fixed sentence structure and you are just repeating it, but hopefully having a good time. I want to let you know that in his song, he also uses a mistake, and it's the same mistake that you saw in the previous song. It's a double negative. Here, he's just using his poetic license to have this song feel the way he wants, but he says, can't nothing bring me down. Here we have not and nothing, two negatives. But really, it should be nothing can bring me down. We're talking out, not. But he uses it. And he thinks that it's gonna feel good in the song. And he's the artist. It's his choice, right? The seventh song that I recommend is also a pop song and it's kind of my guilty pleasure song. Guilty pleasure means that I am a little bit embarrassed, but I like this song. But it's just so fun. I can't help it. It is Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Baby. I'm sure you've heard this song. There are plenty of parodies on YouTube. That means that people took the same idea for the song but added different words, and it's perfect for that kind of thing. In this song, you are gonna learn a lot of great expressions. She uses a lot of phrasal verbs and daily life expressions that I hope will be useful to you. Some examples are just, or look right at someone, or came into my life. These are phrasal verbs and daily life expressions. The eighth pop song is the ultimate pop song. It is Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. And of course, you're gonna learn the phrasal verb shake off something. But this includes a lot of repetition, so it's perfect for pronunciation. The chorus of this song repeats the same words again and again and again. Play, 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 hate, 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 hate. She repeats these words, so I hope it will help your pronunciation and also your sentence structure and hopefully your optimism too. The idea of this song is if someone is hating what you are doing, don't worry about it, shake it off. So, this is a great idea for English. If you make a mistake, poof, shake it off. Don't worry about it, feel better about it, and forget it. Shake it off. The final three songs are in another category. They are not really older songs, they are not really pop songs, but I wanted to include them today. The first one is the song Jolene, and I added the version that Miley Cyrus sings, but Dolly Parton was the original singer of this song. This song is a country song and it's about revenge and jealousy, kind of the opposite of happy and shake it off. It's about revenge and jealousy, and you are gonna learn a lot of great descriptions of people. They're describing a woman in this song with auburn hair and ivory skin, so you're gonna learn these adjectives that also ways to describe someone. My 10th recommendation is Ed Sheeran's song, Perfect. This song has a lot of words, but he speaks clearly. It's kind of slow, love bold, but it's also filled with energy and positivity. He uses some great expressions that native speakers use a lot, such as whisper underneath my breath or fight against all odds. These are kind of like idioms, but they are more like daily expressions. So through this song, I recommend watching either the lyrical video or looking at the lyrics on a paper and really gonna going over this and singing with it, trying to feel passionate with this song. My final and 11th recommendation comes from the internationally loved band Maroon 5. It is the song This Love. There are also a lot of words in this song, like previous Ed Sheeran song, but you can do it. This song is infused with a lot of energy, and he uses some great expressions such as take a toll on me. This is something that might be new for you, so when you encounter new expressions like this, I recommend looking them up, asking someone, researching, trying to use this and find out what it means because you're gonna get a bigger picture of the song. And then when you hear it, sing along with it. You can use it yourself and it's a great way to use new expressions. All right, my challenge for you is to check out some of the links for these songs, listen to as many as possible, and choose one that you can look at the lyrics and try to repeat after them. This is a great way to shadow, but also have some positive energy around English. Hopefully, it will boost you. Maybe it will give you a boost in the morning when you are getting ready. Hopefully, it will help you to feel positive and optimistic about your English journey because I know it's not always easy. So, songs are a great way to pick up your spirits. Choose one of these. Let me know in the comments which one of these would you like to listen to. So guys, bye bye. Hi, I'm Saya from Shadow Online Learning and today we're going to talk about how to learn a language and never forget it. What was the word? I swear it's on the top of my tongue. I studied this language for so long, for years. Yet I can't remember this word. If learning languages is a part of your life, I'm pretty sure that forgetting that language after a certain amount of time happened to you. Before, it's actually funny how long it takes for us to learn languages, yet we can forget it so quickly. That's probably one of the most annoying things about learning languages. So, today we're gonna discover some methods to prevent this happening. Tip number one, the inevitable thing you need to do is exposing yourself to that language as frequent as possible. Probably more frequent than you might even think. Our mind is exceptionally good at forgetting things to prevent our brain remembering irrelevant information. Your brain has a system to decide which information to hold on and which information to forget. But how does the system work? It's actually quite simple. The more you repeat a certain information, the more it sticks to your memory. Think about your name. For example, when somebody asks about your name, you know what's your name, you don't even hesitate or you do not even think about it. It's because this piece of information, so your name, is repeated throughout your life so many times that your brain recognized, or maybe I should remember this information. So now let's move to the long term memory. And that's what we want to do with our foreign language, right? But the problem when it comes to the exposure to the foreign language is that it doesn't really happen naturally. If you don't live in the country, for example, you live in the USA and you want to learn French, how often do you think that you need to have a French knowledge in the US? To maybe survive in some sort of a situation, probably not that often, because I can't say never, because you don't know what life brings. So maybe there are some situations that you would need French, but it's not really frequent that your brain starts to think like, oh, maybe I should remember those French words because it's really important for my life. No, it doesn't happen naturally. So, if you are not getting this exposure to that language naturally, what would we need to do is we need to make this exposure by ourselves. We need to create this exposure, and creating this exposure actually requires a clear system and willpower. But to be honest, that's everything when it comes to life, not only about learning languages system, willpower and frequency, consistency. That's all we need. One of the easiest way to make this happen is building a habit where you get exposed to this language effortlessly. If you would make it effortlessly and easy, then it just becomes a habit of ours. I would recommend listening to audiobooks or podcasts or maybe even YouTube videos whenever you are commuting. The average American spends 55 minutes for commuting to work. That's the perfect time for you to get exposure to your target language by defining when and what exactly you're gonna do. It will be much clearer and easier to get results. You want if you put the effort obviously, but after listening to an episode or maybe chapter, you need to do an effective output loading. Stuff is all about inputting information and then outputting that information. So after every time, try to summarize what you have listened in a couple of sentences. And because you know you need to summarize it afterwards, you will be more likely to focus what the audiobook, podcast, YouTube video, whatever it's talking about. There is no reason for you sleep on your commute time to do something actually beneficial for you. So use this time wisely and never say you don't have time to learn a language. Tip number two, how do you usually spend your time before going to bed? Answer honestly, please. You probably reach out to your phone, and like I do, maybe you probably consume something on internet. The internet is full of stimulation for your brain, and don't you think we need a little break from it? And you probably heard this 100 times in your life, but reading is an excellent habit for preventing overstimulation that social media does. Because when you compare the amount of information we get exposed per second, the difference is insane. Everything on your screen screams to get your attention. So why not to give your brain a little break, a little rest when you unwind for a good night's rest to stay up to date on the latest book in your target language. You might try persuading Goodreads list to see what other readers are enjoying. For instance, there are plenty of lists of Spanish language books, German language books, French language books, and even English language books. Lists so from there are links to help you find where to purchase the book. All you have to do is double check to make sure it's in your target language to get most out of your evening reading. Try reading aloud. This way you will not only reinforce your reading skills, you'll also keep up your speaking practice. Tip number three, if you want to do something more comprehensive, to do some reminding touch ups in every area of language, such as vocabulary, grammar, listening, and speaking, you definitely need to try out Busu. Busu breaks down learning in small and achievable lessons that makes learning easier and motivating so that you can do the activities in any given spare time. The app is free to download and you can also use it in web. Not only you can learn new vocabulary and maybe do some grammar refreshing activities, the grammar and vocabulary review tool helps you to remember everything you have learned in the lessons. Also, if you don't know where to start, you definitely need to check out Booster Study Plan. It breaks the language down in chunks, reminds you when and what to do study, and also prevents you from setting unrealistic goals. I'll have a link in the description below in the comment section also so that you can try Busu for free. Tip number four, starting a new hobby. Using that language will not only be fun, but it will much easier for you to actually put the work in. I don't know about you, but I am a serious procrastinator. So if I don't enjoy something deeply, like if I don't really like enjoy it, I often find myself procrastinating and making bunch of excuses to escape from that, and those excuses are so logical to me at that moment that I never try to do that thing. One very common hobby where you can integrate your target language is watching some Netflix series. I'm pretty sure you will forget why you were watching it in the first place if series are good, so you might even look forward for that Netflix language learning time. But if you are not into watching Netflix series like I do, you can try daily journaling in your target link language. You can use apps, your iPod, or maybe Notion or a classical pen and paper to write down your thoughts. Journaling has many benefits. And when you start experience the mental clarity it gives, I'm pretty sure that you will start to enjoy it. The great thing about journaling in a foreign language is that since you are writing your thoughts, you will get better at expressing your emotions and your thoughts in your target language. Language is a communication tool and it connects people, right? Being able to talk about the weather or something formal in a perfect grammar and fluency might help you in certain situations. But if you want to connect with people deeply in a language, then you need to understand the other person, what they are feeling and what they are thinking. But understanding is not enough. You also need to express yourself, and journaling is the perfect way to practice that. We all know that taking one-on-one lessons with native speakers once a week might be the best thing. But sometimes maybe it's not really accessible for you, or maybe you are really shy. Journaling doesn't require any of it. You can do it anywhere and given time, and you don't need to show to someone else too. And also if you have pen and paper, which probably will have, you can start it right away. It will help you mentally and it will also help you achieve your goals. I hope all these tips helped you guys, and I wish you guys a great language learning journey. I guess see you in my next podcast.